Hey son, is it sharp? Watch this. That is 1-inch inner diameter 4-ply sandblast hose. Listen to me. Weighing in at a stout 15 ounces. The blade stock is 80 CRV2. Micarta handle scales designed by Gabe over at The Last Huntsman. Made by a very good knife company. Jacob over there has gotten better and better and better and better and better. This is the Eagle. Well, welcome back, my friends. Listen, we're going to talk all about this son of a bitch, but let's do this first. Let's jump into the overall specifications. It is from the tip to the pommel, 12¼ inches. The blade length is 6.5. Now, on that 6.5, we are going to have a solid 5 7/8. Nope, we're going to have a 6-inch cutting edge. 6.5 blade, 6-inch cutting edge. The blade width is 2 inches at its widest point. The blade stock, and when I'm stopping, guys, I'm pulling these. If you're new to the channel, I pull my own stats. It's right there at 1/4 inch. It might be. Let me get. I don't want to tell y'all wrong. Damn it. Give me a second. So the blade stock. Guys, the blade stock's 3/16. I was looking at it wrong. I like pulling these. So blade stock's 3/16. Blade length 6.5. Cutting edge is 6. I don't want to be mistaken on that. Now, the inner grip on the handle is 4 3/8. Any hand in the world can grip this handle. That's where your knuckles go. Now, as I'm yakking, y'all just watch this thing work. Listen, here's the thing about this knife. It is a Saxe style. The Saxe style has been found as far back in 4th and 5th century Frankish graves. It is an ancient design. It's a design that works, however. This knife works. One thing that Jacob did, and he did a bunch, but one of the things is this has got a thicker tip. Kirk and I were talking about that. Now, are you going to pry with it? Not if you have any common sense, but that's not what this knife is made for, okay? It does have a reinforced tip. I like that. While we start out at 3/16, it does taper down. Plenty of room, plenty of purchase in that handle. I love the handle. Let me give you the handle thickness, which is right at, I'm going to call it right at, sheesh, it's right under 3/4 inches thick. The pommel, no, the palm swell is literally 1 3/8 wide. So you got a handle here that fits any hand, and it fits insanely well. It came razor sharp. Jacob can make a damn knife, son. I mean, he can make one. And I got to take my hat off to Gabe. This thing, to me, is well designed. And I'll tell you this, Kirk is not a huge Saxe fan. And I didn't say anything about it when I pulled up over at his house, pulled up to the studio, popped the trunk to cut the tire, threw the Saxe in the trunk. Well, he always walks up and looks at what we're going to review and what we're doing. He picked it up, he's looking at it. I didn't say nothing. He goes, man, this thing's made well. I said, yep. I said, you're not a big Saxe guy, are you? He said, no. And he's just looking at it, right? Wasn't long, he goes, man, I tell you what, I'd carry this. I like the way this feels. So when a guy who is not a Saxe guy typically, now, he doesn't hate them, but I mean, it's not his favorite style. But when Kurt makes a statement like that, and he's really paying attention, and he's the guy that got me into this. I might be a novice. Kurt knows his shit, right? And here's the thing about this knife. When you get a knife that it's just well made, it's well done, the heat treat's spot on, and I've kind of been on this very good knife company train for a while now. Timbo 437, I think sometime last year, had sent me a Mustang to check out, and then Tim from Tim's School of Fish hooked me up with a snook. Both of those were made by Jacob. Love both of them, carry that snook a lot. Now, Timbo has sent me to more very good knife companies to check out. There will be another very good knife company review tomorrow on the Fighter. But here's the thing. I've watched Jacob's progression as he's gone and as he's grown. He's just gotten better and better and better and better. Now, this is a stout knife. It's 15 ounces, but here's the thing. It's well balanced. And you can see we're slicing some of the air potatoes. I did as much stuff with this knife as I could do. And just so y'all know, a lot of times I speed these things up. Like I'll bump it up to 1.2 or whatever. So there is a lot of cutting going on. I try to condense it down as much as I can. I don't do a lot of editing, never have. I'll cut the beginning and the end unless Kurt's doing the filming for me. But for the most part, I let it run. Now, this right here, I've said this before, this started off just me joking around. You know, something to punch, something to play with, something to just aggravate people, I guess. But this little demonstration has turned into one that I really enjoy, and it gives me the feel of the knife. See, some knives you struggle a little bit with, and you have to push kind of, and then some knives are a natural extension, a natural flow, and you feel good using it. That's what this knife is. That's what the Eagle does on this demonstration for me. I'm not training any knife sports. Y'all know that. You can see that. I don't claim to be. I'm never going to claim to be something I'm not. So for me to be able to use it is pretty impressive. And again, it just felt like an extension. Now, with the chopping, I dropped my hand all the way down. It's got a little rooster toe there on the pommel where I was able to actually drop my pinky. I used to play a lot of softball, a lot of traveling softball, and I'd drop a pinky off the bottom of the bat to get more leverage, more whip. I was able to do that with this knife, and because of the contour and the ergo of the handle, not a problem. We were able to dial in. Now, is this a chopper? No, but it does a damn good job. And here's the thing to me, guys. I don't give a shit what a knife's made for. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me. We're going to do the same stuff. How does it function? Can I do a little bit of everything? Because here's the truth. I like knives that I can pick up. I can do a little slicing, I can do a little cutting, I can do a little chopping, I can do a little batoning. By the way, that's as heavy as you'll ever see me baton. It does have its place here in Florida because of the humidity and all that, and just trying to get down to the core of the log, trying to get to the dry stuff if you have to. And here it's just kind of, what I do out here, guys, is really just make a little bit of tinder and a little bit of kindling and things like that. But the knife has to do a lot of things well. Now, with the batoning too, it's not just about the edge. It's not just about the edge. That's some of it. It's not all of it. Is there any reverb in the handle? Do you feel any hot spots? And I got to tell you, the way this is made, it is full tang obviously, but the way the micarta contours itself around the handle and the way everything's chamfered, it just feels really, really good in hand. Also, we've got a very, very stout 90-degree spine. This is a very good 90-degree spine if you wanted to make duff, strike a ferrocenium rod, etc. In the 80 CRV2, I've always had pretty good luck being able to hone up and sharpen. Now, big shout out to Kev, Peterbilt Knife Guy. This will be going to him either Monday or Tuesday, whatever day I can get by the post office, but I'll make it a point. So make sure you check out Kev's review. Make sure you check out Gabe's review of the Eagle. And I've said this on a Very Good Knife Company video last week. Get something from Jacob. These drop April the 25th on Very Good Knife Company's website. You want to get that. I'm telling you. Again, not the QVC, not trying to be, but if you can get your hands on something from a Very Good Knife Company, now's the time, because I'm just going to be real with you. The guy is consistent. He's solid. He's going to blow up, and it's going to be difficult to get. And again, remember what we talked about. I don't show these knives when they have drops like this to be like, ooh, I got one you don't. That's not it, or to try to be exclusive. I want to help these makers out where I can. I want to help the guys who are solid, who stick to their craft, who improve their craft, who aren't in it, just to make a buck, but they're in it because they love it, and this is how they make their livelihood. Jacob's one of those guys. But I'm telling you, in the next couple years, it's going to be really hard to get. So if you can find something on the secondary market, if you can get something from him custom, do that for sure. Gabe did a great job with the design. I know I've said that once, but I'll say it again. He's designed a couple of knives, and he's done a very, very good job doing it. It's amazing when you've used a knife, you can tell by a knife's design who's actually used the knife or used a knife. And believe me, there are guys who design knives who have not used them. Trust me, when I tell you that. But you can tell that Gabe is a knife user, whether it's work, camping, whatever. You see it through a spark there pretty good. I try not to edit it out with the throwing sparks. Sometimes I can get it in one. Sometimes it takes a couple. Sometimes it just, is what it is. But the spine on a very good knife company, I'm telling you, dude does a good job. Now, there's a good look at the tip because we did throw it. I did bang it off the stump one time. Wanted to get a decent look at the edge. Edge held up very, very well. Very well. Tried to put as much pressure on the edge as we could. Tried to cut as much stuff as we could. I'm going to tell y'all something. That's like petrified water hose there. Kirk had that. That water hose might be older than us. That's some of the hardest shit I've ever cut in my life. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't think there's been one knife that's just sailed through it like a normal water hose. I think it's cursed. Overall, would I carry this knife? Yeah, I'd carry it. Kirk could carry it. Why? Because it's well made. It's sharp as shit. The design is conducive to being versatile. I believe you could probably even use it in the kitchen a good bit if your skill set so inclines. And remember, guys, if you're relying on a knife to do tasks and you never work on your skill set, you're just pissing up wind. A knife is only as good as the end user, right? I try not to gear my reviews where I'm just trying to wow you with my knife skills. I know that I don't, but I just want to show you some basic stuff. Watch the knife work. The stuff with the stabbing is this, not so much that it can stab and not so much the aesthetic of the stab, but to show you the tip don't snap off, right? To show you there's no slip in the grip. This is a very, very grippy Micarta. I really like it. To show you a hot spot, just some basic stuff. That's all I want to show you. That's all my demos are designed to do. Now, the zip tie test, that is designed specifically to see if it'll chip the edge. That's it. Point blank, period. It's not about sharp. Every knife should be able to pop it or pry it. Guys, real quick, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. Anything over 0 is unacceptable. Guys, I back the blue. It ain't popular. It don't have to be. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, I'm Scab. You're not. Love it, son.